Hey guys, Sordex here, and today first of all, I know it's been a while since I posted a video. Just things were happening. Regionals was like literally a few days ago, so yeah. But I'm not on the other side. I'm behind the camera because I literally had to lure out and fish out the BermudaKing.
Woo!
So we can get some Bermuda Triangle deck profiles since their clan booster and their trial deck came out like 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago,
Two
yeah.
weeks ago, yeah. So we have BermudaKing here, and which deck are you going to be profiling for us?
Let's get on the hype train, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Chouchou.
Chouchou or Chouchou?
It's Chouchou, actually.
Chouchou?
It's like the C is kind of silent.
Chouchou.
So it's like Chouchou.
Okay. Alrighty. Take it away.
Alright, to begin, we're going to run, obviously, 4 Tira. There's no reason not to run 4 of her, and pull the, to 4 tries to pull this one from the trial deck. Nice.
So what does the new Grace do?
When you start on top of her, Blast 1, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Chouchou, excuse me, put it into your hand. If it's any card, you put it into your hand. If it's Chouchou, you can choose one of your rear guard, bottom deck it, and draw another card. That might not happen that often, but you never know. Now, the second skill is a spicy one. When you have 1 or less rear guard, GV1, free stride. Just stride for free. Who needs stride fighters? Just stride for free.
Everybody loves a free stride.
And your backup, because we literally have nothing else, we're going to run 4 Merts. This card is very good because not only does it work on the Vanguard and rear, but it enables multi-attacks. You take a -1 to do it, but the card called gets 4K. Yeah, 4K. And just multi-attacks, and there's really nothing else to use as a backup unless you just play a regular like Harmony deck and run her at the backup. But it's a Chouchou deck, so yeah, 4 Merts. So good. Until next year when we get another Tira. Grade 2s are 4 Ayana. She's similar to Spica in a way that she gives you multi-attacks for counterblast, but the problem is you're kind of relying on what you have in hand or what you top deck when you draw with her skill. And she can only be enabled when you bottom deck something else, so she doesn't enable herself. She's a combo piece. But we don't really have much else, so yeah, then I run 4 of her. Next grade 2 I run is for Listella. She's probably the best grade 2 in the deck, only because she can enable your combo to go off. She's an 11k attacker, and she can bottom deck something that's already attacked and help you with the GV1 skill. The problem with the deck, though, it's very, very Soul Blast heavy, so you really have to manage your soul very well. Or Tekken choices like Feluca or anything else that soul charges, which I'd rather not do because they're not Chouchous. Which you kind of need to because you can only bottom Chouchous. And because I like the spicy tech, I run 3 of the 10k vanillas just because there's no other options available. And they can help stop rush because the deck doesn't do anything until you stride. Grade 1s. Not only is the deck very Soul Blast heavy, it's also super Counter Blast heavy, so I run Kukuri. I see people running Tino, but the problem with Tino is that she's a Counter Blast. The deck is also very Counter Blast heavy, and I'd rather just get the unflip so I don't use all my Counter Blasts on the first turn and then do nothing for the rest of the game. Also with Tino, you have to discard a Chouchou, and not every single card in the deck is a Chouchou. Then we have the Abyssal Owl of the deck. Too bad she's not as good as the Abyssal Owl, but top 7, when she plays on rear, look for a Tira. And end of turn, if you have a Tira Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, return to bottom deck and counter charge 1. Which I really wish she didn't have to Soul Blast, but there's nothing else to run, so you might as well run her. And we have 4 Milaire. To be honest with you, she doesn't really do much. She's only a stand-in until we get a Kina in English, which is pretty much just a Bruno clone for the deck. When you bottom deck something, plus 3k. Her skill, whenever you call something by an effect, she gets 2k. But you really have to call 2 cards to get any magic numbers in the deck. There's really nothing else to run other than like 8k vanillas or the one that Soul Blast 1 and call a card when she's called. But again, Soul Blast heavy and you're barely not going to use her anyway. And I put in 2 stride fodder just in case I need to stride without Cheerios skill, which does happen once in a while. And yeah, you want to stride or you're not winning. And triggers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 crit. 4 of this crits that you're barely ever going to use. I've used her twice since I got the deck 2 weeks ago. I'm not kidding. You put into Soul Counterblast 1 at the end of battle your Vanguard with Chouchou in its card name, so it doesn't have to be Kira. Attacked, draw a card, call something plus 5k. Again, she fills Soul, but she costs a Counterblast. Why, Bushy? Why did she cost a Counterblast? No other crit costs a Counterblast. Why does she cost a Counterblast? I will not understand that. And we also run 4 draw triggers because she's a Marvel clone. That's literally the only reason I run her. Also, you can bottom deck her and shuffle with her name that I can't now remember. Her. So, you're putting a trigger back. You can maybe proc her again. Other than that, you're going to want to soul charge these babies. And of course, 4 heal. And the only reason... Well, no, you need Chouchou in the card name, so I don't run Sandy because of that. And starter, it's the one you can actually use because she goes into Soul and she doesn't cost a Counterblast. Doesn't really matter what she does, although she can, when something bottom deck, put in a Soul, call 2 Chouchou down. Doesn't matter, she doesn't cost a Counterblast, doesn't cost a Soul, goes into the Soul, and she's decent. Alright, on to the strides. We have 4 Lapria. We only got 1 decent Chouchou stride, which kind of annoys me because most of the strides in this clan don't really work with the deck. But for her, Counterblast 1, Persona Flip, for every card in your G zone, you can bottom deck 2 and draw the same amount. If you have a Chouchou heart, which obviously you're going to have one, draw an extra card. And if you drew 4 total, including the extra draw you get for having a Chouchou heart, you call a whole field. So it's like Olivia on steroids. She's an okay first stride, but if you use her as a first stride, you may have problems with Counterblast later on. And of course, I run 4 Olivia, because what's a Bermuda deck without Olivia's? If you don't know her skill, which I think everybody should have at this point, Counterblast 1, Persona Flip, shoots up to 5 cards. They all have different card names. They have to have different card names. I've seen people bounce same cards. I don't know why, but they have to have different ones. Then you can call 2 and she gets a crit. At least it offered multi-attack, so that's kind of the reason why you run her. One of Lily now? Yeah, Lily. Lily now? I can't.
Lily now. I'm just
okay. Yeah, Lily now. You know, I have 2 problems with this card. 1, she's an on-hit, and 2, she's an on-hit. After all the trial decks have come out recently with non-on-hit strides, I'm not sure why we get an on-hit, but she's free. If you hit, bottom deck something, draw 2 cards, or bounce something and not draw, which you're never going to do. You're just going to bottom deck and draw 2. Usually she's my first stride if I want to conserve some Counterblast, or a later stride if I have no Counterblast. So, yeah. And 1 Priscilla. You get the GBA, attack with her, end of battle, discard a card, bounce all your cards, call a whole field, they all get 5k. GBA. It's nothing like the crazy GBAs we've seen, but it can still kill your opponent. And 1 Angie. This is a deck I not ever used this card once in yet, because Counterblast 2 is a hefty cost, but if you're against Link Joker, she's pretty decent. Or Mega Colony. That can happen. Counterblast 2, Generic Flip. It's Generic Flip, not Persona Flip. That's a wrong text error. you bounce up to whatever rear guards you or your opponent. If you bounce 5, draw a card. If you bounce 7, she gets a quad check, so an extra drive check, and she gets 5k for each card bounce, so she becomes Blizza in a way. So if your opponent doesn't have a PG, good luck guarding it. And I run 5 G guards. I run Palafy, literally a clone of the OTT G guard. You have 3 or more cards, 5k shield. I have, what's her name, Platy, which when you guard with her, Soul Blast 1, choose a Chouchou Von deck, draw a card, and she gets 5k shield. Again, more Soul Blast skills, and we really need a Soul Charger at this point. To Leona, because she can actually help proc her GV1 skill. And yeah, you bounce something, and you're forced to call. You're forced to call a card. Doesn't matter what card it is, but you're forced to call if you use her, if you bounce with her. And if it's the same card that you bounce, plus 5k shield. And of course, 1 Sandy, our flipping G guard. You guard with her every 2 cards in your hand. They get 5k shield, and you can counter blast 1 and get another 5k shield. So yeah, that's pretty much the main deck. Overall, the deck in the right hand is pretty decent, but the deck still has a lot of problems with resource management, which I really hope are fixed next year.
Alright guys, that was BermudaKing with his
Chouchou
deck profile. If you like what you see, you can subscribe to the channel somewhere here. And then you can check out more deck profiles here and whatever last uploaded video there. Alright guys, this has been Sardax, who barely said anything, and BermudaKing, who said a lot of things. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Chouchou High Train!
Bye!